This project is my archival object for CPS. At first, I was thinking about archives in a pretty normal way. I thought about media players, old devices, storage systems, and things that can replay memories or media across time. But during the process, the idea slowly changed into this projection gun. This gun works like a portable archive system. Each bottle contains a different memory liquid, and each one represents one of my weekly projects from this semester. When players load the ammo and shot it, the fragments gather together and become a projection of the work. I want the object itself to feel personal and slightly uncomfortable. The jar on top contains a broken brain, because I think making work is closely connected to thinking, imagination, and also frustration. The shooting point is an eye, because throughout this semester I keep thinking about observation, perception, and projection. A lot of my projects are connected to the idea of watching, being watched, systems, environments, and unstable entities. For example, in week 1, I explore the feeling of being observed through moving eyes that watch the viewer back. In week 2, the focus shifted toward systems and interaction, where the code itself slowly becomes unpredictable. Week 3 explored industrial objects pretending to become organic forms. Week 4 focused on absence and traces left inside environments. Week 5 questioned whether objects even have stable identities. In week 6, the world became more emotional and connected to memory and distance from home. Week 7 introduced the slime mode organism, which could grow, learn, and eventually escape its self-environment. And in week 8, I experiment with the procedural system and the randomness through geometry nodes. Looking back at this work together, I realized many of them were already connected before I consciously noticed it. A lot of them involved systems that change over time, unstable forms, interaction, artificial life, memory, observation, or environments that affect behavior. So instead of presenting the objects separately, I wanted to turn them into something special and interactive that people could move through and activate. I also like the idea of combining a media player with a weapon. Not because I wanted violence, but because guns already contain interaction, triggering, loading, and release. Each projection almost feels like its own small universe, so the gun becomes a device for temporarily opening and projecting those spaces. I think this project helped me realize that my works are less about creating finished objects and more about building relationships between systems, environments, memories, and interaction. Even though the weekly projects were all different, they slowly formed a kind of connected logical over the semester. This archival object became a way to gather all these fragments together into one explorable space. The environment itself is intentionally almost empty. Before the players showed anything, there are only 2 cubes inside the darkness. I think this environment represents the state before creation begins. At the beginning of making something, usually there is almost nothing except the fragment cells, work directions, and unfinished ideas. Only after the fragments are projected into the spaces that the environment begin to gain meaning. And at the end, I just thought it looked cool. Really cool.